website it is not opening. Some technical glitch is there.
No, sir, it is open. It is clear.
Okay. So maybe there is something wrong with my network.
Yes, maybe. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Chitra. Today I'm hosting this session. So, I hope you all are here and enjoying this session. So, this session is really wonderful session, and we get different types of vocabulary, sentence structures, and other information. And every article has a different knowledge. So, it is really important and crucial and vital. So I hope you all are here to give your extra effort and knowledge by the article. So thank you so much for joining. So Vipin sir, are you ready?
Yeah, let me just choose the topic, Chitra.
Yes. Okay, sir.
All right, I'll read topic number 23. And this topic is when your inner clock and outer timetable meet. May I start, Chitra?
Okay, sir. You can start. All the best.
Thank you. So this topic is written by George John, and the theme of the topic is in good faith. When your inner clock and outer timetable meet. A confession to begin. I have been both the sanctimonious lark who quoted early to bed and early to rise, and the defiant owl who bragged that real thinking only begins after midnight. Both versions believed they were virtuous. Both were wrong. India loves binaries, science versus arts, vegetarian versus non-vegetarian, incoming person versus morning person versus lazy owl. We turn a neutral biological difference called chronotype, the body's preferred sleep-wake pattern, into a moral referendum. In truth, what matters is not when you work, but whether your work, relationships, and health are aligned with the clock inside your body. As a retired psychiatrist who has listened to people in distress, and as a citizen who has watched children yawn through assembly, I have learnt what our public debate resists. Your circadian rhythm is a temperament of time, not a badge of character. Look around. Our cities run on staggered tides of effort. Mumbai is Dabbawala's move like clockwork in the late morning. Call center workers in Gurugram answer queries from customers who will never know their good evening is being spoken at 3 a.m. Nurses keep vigil while the rest of us sleep. Society needs different kinds of bodies to stay awake at different times. The trouble begins when a single timetable is treated as sacred. Schools that insist every teenager must sparkle at 8 a.m. are fighting adolescent biology, not building character. Offices that reward being seen at a desk at 9, regardless of productivity, confuse face time with performance. Families that shame the late riser forget that this late riser may have sat up with a sick child till dawn. There is a spiritual argument too. We are stewards, not owners of the small patch of creation that is our body. Good stewardship includes listening to the rhythms written into our flesh. Prudence asks, am I living in a way that respects my honest clock? Compassion adds a second question. Does my community make room for bodies unlike mine? Those questions belong together. In the best Indian tradition, they are matters of dharma. What could a chronotype-friendly India look like? Schools that start slightly late for adolescents, or at least offer some flexibility. Workplaces that judge staff by output. Courts, hospitals, and public offices that keep staggered windows so citizens who cannot manage mornings are not locked out of justice or care. A public health message that drops the moral tone, not wake at 5 or fail, but sleep enough and align your effort with your peaks. The payoff would be large. Better rested students learn more. Workers trusted to manage their energy give more. Partners who respect each other's rhythms quarrel less and love more. A nation that prides itself on being truly awake might discover that wisdom is not about when we open our eyes, but how wisely we use them. So which life wins? The owls or the larks? The wrong question. The real victory is when your inner clock and outer timetable meet. May you discover your honest clock, may your loved ones honor it, and may India, restless, ambitious India, learn to make enough room in time that larks, owls, and the vast, drowsy middle can all play in tune. So, this is an article which forces us or compels us to look into ourselves and actually find out what our body is saying and how well we can align or somehow acclimatize our body with the external timetable that this life wants us to follow. It cannot be done easily these days because the society has compelled us to follow a certain routine. The schools have to open at a certain time, one has to reach office at a certain time, and people have got to go and reach the courts at a stipulated time. That makes a person work like a machine and not a human being. That is what this article is trying to highlight. That body is not a machine. It may be appearing like a machine as far as working is concerned, but humans and machines, there is a lot of difference, and the most important difference is consciousness and emotions. Those have to be understood to understand this topic. And this topic actually is trying to say that if at all we try to give importance to our body and the way it functions, then we shall be more productive, our output shall be better, we shall undoubtedly become more efficient and effective. And what do we mean by we here? We could be children, we could be the nurses who are working in the hospitals, and we also could be the people who work in offices who may be reaching at the right time, coming back at the right time, but their productivity may not be up to the mark because their body and mind and intellect and brain is not working in the proper way, because they may have slept late, and in the process they may be sitting at their desks, but they may not be giving that output which is required. This topic is definitely trying to tell us to look into ourselves and not simply follow certain proverbs or certain quotations that have been given by the society. Early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy and wise, may not be true in all the cases. Generally speaking, it works well, because if we get up early in the morning, we have a lot of time to work for various things which we may not be able to do during the day. But at the end of the day, the bottom line of this topic is, please try to understand your body clock. And if at all, the rhythm between the body and the society and the external world can be brought about in proper alignment, the result is going to be miraculous. Thank you very much for listening to me so patiently.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really wonderful sharing. Yeah, this topic is completely depends upon our mental and physical stability. But how to maintain and how to capture all these things? Because nowadays people are always busy in their hectic schedule. They always run here and there to achieve anything. But if you make the schedule and buy the book, so everything is feasible. So we should conscious about it because nothing is beyond the life. So thank you so much for this article and sharing. So anybody wants to add something, so you can go ahead. Yes, Priyanshu sir, would you like to add something?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay. Farebi, Swayam.
So already the brother has added a relevant part. There's few point which is I'm going to add from my side. There's a one term which is said then from the dharma point of view. So there's something called the energy that we talk about in our civilization, kapha, pitta, and vata. These are the three fundamental energy which exactly flow, or you can say, okay, the material in the part of. And the flow of this energy depend upon the body clock. You will be familiar about the prana vayu or the life, okay, air. So the time when you wake up early in the morning, the very position of that specific energy or the air is in the upper part of your body that we call the head. So from the civilization point of view, it is believed so the flow of the energy depend upon the harmony with the nature, what the flow of the nature is for. So the time you bring the harmony between the individual identity that we talked about, this individual body, and the cosmic intelligence that we talk about, the nature itself. And the harmony can be created when you are living according to the very requirement of the nature. You are not changing the nature according to the very requirement of yourself. Take for example, sometimes you see the people, okay, wake up very late, not exactly early in the morning. They are the night owl. What exactly happened? The energy which okay, if you would have okay wake up early in the morning, that the position of the energy would have been in the head. It means the position of the pranavayu. But if he's going to wake up nearly 10 or 11 or something like that, now the very position would be near to that of the chest, and they are going to feel some types of pain or some types of okay lack of concentration and the active energy, which is really the part of the Brahma Muhurta or the morning time. So I think the dharma has given a perspective that how you are aligning yourself to the cosmic intelligence. And I can be okay with the point of disagreement, the writer itself, where he talks about it should be okay depending upon the people. I never believe on that. It should be depending upon not individualistic with the approach, but what exactly the law of nature is proclaiming. Based on that, we have to adopt the nature. Exceptionally, you can have the people who they are night owl or hey they are very much productive, and the civilization that we have been and the current model of economic development that we are doing in this manner, we can say, oh, it is the requirement of the current time, because the okay we are living in the Okay, now we have transformed the whole world from the three dimension to two dimension, right? Because of internet. So people coming from India is connecting to the European countries. So when there is day, there will be night, and all stuff will be explained. That is something which is all about the way of life that we are living. So we are trying to align ourselves, but that is not exactly how the dharma and the nature speak. So I think it should be seen from not perspective of the individualistic opinion, but the collective or the supreme intelligence as the nature speaks. Yeah, that's perspective.
Okay, thank you so much, Swayam. See, it is really extraordinary points. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing. So we have Faribi. Good morning, Faribi.
Good morning, Chitra ma'am, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you,
What is
ma'am?
your article number? So I'm pretty good. Thank you so much.
My article number is 22.
Okay, all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Sky is the limit. Lavrov on ties with India. Nobody except Trump said India won't buy Russian oil, stating that sky is the limit as far as India-Russia relations go. Russia Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Wednesday said that except US President Donald Trump, nobody else has declared that India will stop buying Russian oil. Responding to a lawmaker in the State Duma, lower house of Russian parliament, Lavrov said, "You mentioned that Donald Trump announced India's agreement to no longer purchase Russian oil. I have not heard such a statement from anyone else, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the other Indian leaders. As India kicks off its BRICS presidency this year with the first Sherpa meeting held in New Delhi recently, Lavrov said that External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar told the first meeting of Sherpas that energy security will be one of the top items of the summit that Russian President Vladimir Putin is expected to attend. A new meeting between the leaders of two countries is expected to take place on the sidelines of BRICS summit. Lavrov told the Russian parliament Russia is ready to go as far in relation with India as New Delhi would desire. He said, adding the sky is the limit. Speaking during the government hour of the State Duma, Lavrov said Putin's state visit to India in December 2025 had further enriched relations between Moscow and New Delhi. On January 1st, India formally assumed the chairmanship of BRICS, a 10-member bloc comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, along with 5 new members. The first meeting of BRICS Sherpas and SOUS Sherpas under India's chairship was held on February 9 to 10 in New Delhi. It was chaired by Secretary Economic Relations Sudhakar Dalela, India's BRICS Sherpa, supported by Joint Secretary Multilateral Economic Relations Shambhu Haki, India's BRICS shows Sherpa. BRICS Sherpas and senior fiscals from Brazil, China, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, and UAE participated in the meeting. The BRICS Sherpas and country representatives jointly called on the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Tuesday. During the meeting, India presented the priorities for its chairship in 2026 under the theme Building for Resilience, Innovation, Cooperation, and Sustainability. Several ministries and government departments presented India's priorities and proposed activities under various BRICS thematic areas, including cooperation in health, agriculture, labor and employment, disaster risk reduction, environment, climate change, energy, innovation, ICT, security and counterterrorism, economic and financial domains. As per a statement by the Ministry of External Affairs, MEA, further, there was a productive exchange of views and institutional development of the BRICS grouping, the MEA said on Wednesday. In line with India's approach of having a people-centric chairship, presentations on cooperation, sports, youth, connect, cultural engagement, BRICS Academic Forum, BRICS Think Tank Council, BRICS Civil Forum, as well as the BRICS Business Council and BRICS Women's Business Alliance were also made. The representatives of the BRICS partner countries participated in the opening session of the meeting. India's BRICS chairship builds on the cooperative activities carried out under previous BRICS chairship and shares their representatives in advancing priorities of resilience, innovation, cooperation, and sustainability and people-centric approach, MEA said. So, I have completed my reading part. I am going to summarize this. In the recent, in the Russian lower house, which is a Duma, Russian parliament, the external affairs of the Russia, Sergei Lavrov said that sky is the limit. Like as far as India relations go, uh, right now I have a problem that what is mean the sky is the limit. I think it's okay. So sorry for that, but other parts I am going to summarize this. As he said that except Donald Trump, no leaders of India said that India will not continue to buying the Russian oils. And also, we are not saying this right from the any of our leaders. We won't say that we will not buying Russian oils because we signed as the American trade deals, and as per the Donald Trump, he said that India will not buying a Russian oil. That's how, and that's why we are signing the trade deal. But also, it's we are also not announcing that we will continue to buy Russian oils. That's why in the Russia, like they are saying that we are losing the world presence of the Russia because other countries also the like Armenia and the other countries also signed a deal with the America because in the recent few days back Armenia and Azerbaijan they have signed with America. They will not like fight with each other. So that also Russia is losing their power in the world. So that's why it's necessary to say that they are saying the Russian people that India is we have a connection with India and also for a long time. That's why it's necessary for the people of Russia that they can believe their leaders. They are but that they are not losing the game in the world order. And also for the BRICS meeting, as far like in the December 2025, Russian president came here and we signed also some trade deals and although the cooperation with the Russians like to making aeroplanes. Like we all know in the recent 2025, Russia like invented some local airplanes for the people and for our the some of the aeroplane companies like I think SpiceJet buy 6 Russian planes for our domestic uh, purpose. So we are doing the business with them, but in for the deal with buying Russian oils, like it's a big deal because Russia has a way full of energy. Like they have the many energy resources, and we are buying from a large amount of oil because not for the only for the Indian people, but we refine them and we sell to the European countries. So that's a very big deal for Russia, that if India will not buy the Russian oil, they loses lots of money. And in the meeting with the BRICS, like the 10 members of the BRICS, 5 are the permanent, like India, Russia, China, South Africa, and Brazil, and other countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Ethiopia. Some of the other or more countries are making continuous deal with them, and they are larging the BRICS with that BRICS will be a people-centric chairship, like cultural engagements, BRICS Academic Forum, think tank councils, and they will make as a BRICS as a European NATO. Not NATO is for the like wartime, but they are making this group like G7 as a. So that's why it's in other countries the BRICS members are planning to expand the BRICS. So here is the mentioning the other in this article, and for this that India is not announcing that we will continue to buy because we recently signed this deal. So that's why it's very important to maintain the world order. So this is all from my side. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Karevi. Yeah, so it was really a fabulous presentation, and you explained this article in detail. So I really appreciate you. Yeah. So anybody wants to add something? So please go ahead.
Okay, so already the brother has touched near about every dimension. In a simple nutshell, we have to understand the foreign minister of Russia has given one statement, right? The statement is nothing but the retaliation. What exactly the statement has come from the Donald Trump side, right? During the discussion for a framework trade deal, right, where US President Donald Trump has exactly claimed that the Prime Minister Modi, head of the state of motherland Bharat, has come in the agreement that he's going to uh, stop the purchasing Russian oil. That was the very ground based on which, okay, the statement of statement has come out from the foreign minister of the Russia side. Now the concern is that we have to go again one step forward. That why exactly Lavrov has refused that one. So he has some of the fundamental ground that he says that addressing in the Duma where he said that the statement has just come or it's from the Donald Trump side. He said that we have not a single statement from the Prime Minister Modi side and or the other Indian leaders. So he created the ground. This is something okay. The task of the Chachaji, what exactly Trumpji is saying. Okay, he is taking the whole authority to uh, uh, interfere in the matter of another one, rather than asking the having the clarity. The same thing that they have done for the different stuff. Now the concern is that if you're going to see the stance, what exactly Motherland Bharat has shown. So as India's official have not explicitly refuted Trump's claim, that's also the one stuff. Okay, they have maintained that India's energy decisions are guided by the national interest. It's not something the opinion of individual one, because we are having okay the kind of population of 1.4 billion population. So that's one of the concern. What I believe, okay, might be the way forward centric approach. The time we talk about the energy security point of view, so Motherland Bharat is the world's third largest oil consumer, right? And has significantly increased its import from Russia, specifically if you're going to talk about since 2022. But in the last recent time, if you're going to see, we have also come in the decreasing the very import that we are doing. So. And as we know, okay, he has also pointed out some of the stuff that okay, how India is leading the BRICS chairmanship of January 1st in 2026, and things are going on. So he said that energy security is going to be one of the pivotal area or the ground based on which India is going to come forward for having the agreement or something like that. So that is something which has come in the form of the explanation or this article stretching. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Swayan. Yeah. So we have Priyanshu sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I audible?
So what is your article? Yes, sir, you are completely audible.
It's article number 11.
Okay. Yeah, all the best, sir.
Yes, and big article. If any participant want to team up with me, they are most welcome.
Which one is going on, sir?
Please, Satya, don't say me, sir. It's article number 11.
Okay, let me see.
Okay. So, do you want to team up with me?
Yeah, no worry.
Okay. It's article
Uh,
number 11. First
choose the
of all,
portion. Which part should
which
be
portion? It's,
the test used by code, right? I will start.
yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. The title of this editorial is The Constitution Enters the Sanctum. The two recent judgments of the Madras High Court, one concerning the Thirupannikundaram and Deepathun, and the other relating to the rights of Thenkalai said, to decide on him at the Kanchipuram Vadraraja Perumal temple, have brought to the fore the role of judiciary in adjudicating the religious dispute. That this matter have reached the High Court is revealing on multiple levels. First, it tells us that the court have a constitutional role in deciding the religious dispute. Second, it demolishes an argument that temples are a private space where the courts or the state cannot intervene. Given the growing number of such cases, the law around the religion has been center state like never before. Shift from civil rights dispute. Over 100 years ago, it was a civil court that dealt with the temple dispute. In a case pertaining to the entry into the Kumudi temple in Ramanathapuram, pitched the battle around the civil rights to enter the temple premises were fought all the way up to the Privy Council in London. In Sankaralinga, Nandan and others versus Raja Rajeshwara Durai and others, 1908, the Privy Council was called upon to decide whether the Nadar community had the right to enter the Kumudi temple. In the pre-constitutional era, such cases around the temple entry and right to go worship were primarily regarded as dispute concerning the civil rights. In 1927, the Madras Presidency government enacted the Madras Hindu Religious Endowments Act to govern the temples and their endowments. A slew of legislative activity followed in the next 2 decades, which enabled the setting up of local temple committees and the auditing of the temple funds, which enshrined the supervisory role of the presidency government. All this changed when the constitution was adopted in 1915, which introduced the fundamental right to practice the religion. The freedom of worship rights in Article 25 and 26 to worship were made applicable to individuals as well as a religious denomination. However, this freedom was tempered with the requirement that the right to practice or profess the religion would be subject to public order, health, and morality. This allowed the state to further regulate the worship when it offended the public conscience or morality. This period ushered in a critical shift in judicial thinking. From the earlier view that this matter was civil rights dispute, the court began looking at them from the vantage of the constitutional directive. By doing so, the judiciary asserted the rights of individuals to equality and religious freedom, subject to the public interest restrictions. This led to the blossoming of jurisprudence around the temple entry, religious freedom, and equality in the appointment of priests. It is now a matter of debate in the Constitutional Court as to if and how this right should be limited. Nevertheless, the southern state, which belonged to the erstwhile Madras Presidency, must be credited for bringing in this jurisprudence. It started with the states enacting the legislation under the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments Act for a better temple governance. This legislation and regulation consequently invited the judicial oversight, as the red courts were called to adjudicate upon whether the state intervention respected the rights of the religious denomination, while safeguarding the constitutional rights of the other. This led to the development of the temple-related jurisprudence over the last 70 years. Yeah, over to you, Satya sir.
Yeah. So, in development of this jurisprudence, courts have undertaken an inquiry into whether the religious practices conflict with the constitutional principles. For example, where there is a restriction of the entry of the certain people or where a customary practices is in conflict with the fundamental rights, such as matters can be brought before the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court then undertakes the task of finding out whether such customs or practice is protected by the essential religious practice text. A creation of the Supreme Court, this test is determined whether a particular custom or the practice is essential, integral to the religion. Those not essential, religious were interestingly deemed to be secular and open to judicial guidance. Therefore, if a practice fails this test, then the court typically proceed to issue a direction in the consonance with the settled constitutional principle. Despite criticism regarding its inconsistent interpretation in the subsequent judgment, the court have continued to use this test to bring the measure of objectivity to decision by focusing on the core test of the religion itself. In Indian Young Law Association and the Ors versus State of Kerala in 2018 Sabrimala Temple case, this approach underwent a significant constitutional when the Supreme Court held that even those practices considered essential to the religious cannot be sealed from the judicial scrutiny if they are inconsistent with the constitutional morality. Therefore, the law of the land is the religious freedom are subject to the constitutional morality, which in turn is founded on the principle of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. The growing number of religious disputes before Constitution Court reflect not only ideological polarization within and across the faith, but also the enduring role of judiciary in ensuring that the religious practices do not undermine the constitutional principle. Judicial review of the religious dispute therefore cannot be seen as an aberration but a continuation of the long-standing constitutional engagement, one that seeks to harmonize faith with the fundamental principle of the Constitution. Thank you. Would you like to come with your explanation or shall I?
Yeah, thank you, Satya, for for reading the article. So basically, this whole article, the theme of the article is that a shifting trend from civil disputes to having a public domain. As we know that the religion is one thing which is very intrinsic part of the Indian society, and how it shifted from being in a civil dispute to actually coming in the domain of the public after the enactment of our constitution in 1950. So there are various facets, and the article and author are talking about the restriction imposed upon those rights, which is enshrined in Article 25 and 26, in the form of public order, health, and morality. So in this article, as the author itself is an advocate who's practicing before the Madras High Court, are concerning about the two main issues. The first is Thiruman Kudaram, Dipathun, and the second is the rights of Thenkalai sect, either to recite the hymns at the Kanchipuram Varadanga Perumal temple. So that's why they're saying that what is the role and importance and responsibility of the court? It's not just to be a mere statutory body, it has to proactively decide about the religious dispute. And it's a long matter, and earlier it used to be that is a private matter with respect to the temples, but it now come under the ambit of the public domain, that it affecting the largest public at large. As Satya sir talking about the Indian Young Lawyer Association, as we know, there's a very huge hue and cry with respect to that judgment, whether the entry of the temple for the menstruating female is violative of their essential religious right or not. So that's why I've taken into consideration the cause and what will be the consequences of allowing the same, or whether it is allowable in their essential religious practice is important to consider. And we are only interpretation about the actual, we don't know the actual, what actually the practice going on. So that's why the judiciary role is important according to me. But yeah, let's see. And from the first part itself, they are talking about that there's a very huge battle with respect to the entry in the Kumudi temple, wherein it is held in sorry to mispronounce, Sangaralinga, Nandan, and others, which is Raja Rajeshwar, that the community, another community has a right either to enter the Kumudi temple or not. So basically, in the pre-constitutional era, such cases with respect to the entry of the temple and having a right to co-worship were primarily regarded as only a civil right. But and even we have a different right. For example, Act, Hindu Religious Endowments Act, which primarily govern the temple and their endowments. And there are some kind of legislative activity also, or some small act, which is enabling the local temple committees or in order to just self-regulate themselves. But this all the framework changed after coming into enactment of the constitution, which primarily introduced the fundamental right to practice the religion, and that freedom of worship is enshrined in Article 25 and 26, as I already mentioned about. So it has to be seen that you have a right to practice or profess religion, but it should be subject to the governed restriction, as in public health, order, and morality. So yeah, this allows the state to further regulate when it seems that it going to affect the public conscience or a morality. And if it had a tendency to create a ripple in a society, and it seems that if it affects the public consent at large, they should make an activity not unconstitutional, but not to be allowed in that particular area. So yeah, so this kind of judgment, this kind of associations of rights and liabilities have decided and blooming the jurisprudence with respect to the entry into the temple, whether you have actually the religious freedom or not, or what kind of equality is being followed with respect to the appointment of the priest. It all now come under the constitutional code or the constitutional governance. As far as I remember, there's also a case with respect to the Vaishnavi Shrine Board, wherein there's a family who actually are the main responsible authority for the governance or for the whole thing. But due to the mismanagement, then only the Jammu and Kashmir government intervened, and that case led to the before the Honorable Supreme Court that there's a mismanagement and misappropriation of the funds with respect to that are not proper utilizing for the infrastructure development and different kinds of things. So that's why the Shrine Board is there. I think, if I'm not wrong, it's Bhurilal case. You can search it on the internet versus state of Jammu and Kashmir. So that's why the importance of the court is very important as to differentiate between or segregate what actually the essential religious line in order to balance the right between the society and the large, who are actually responsible for the funds and different kinds of things which eventually affect that temple or that society at large. So yeah, this article is basically revolving around safeguarding the constitutional rights of the other, and also side by side respecting the right of the religious denomination or practicing or freedom to have you propagate or practice or disseminate your own religious values and principle. So yeah, that's the whole crux of the article. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So you both did really great job. I really appreciate you about your reading part and explanation. So everything is fantastic. So thank you so much for that. So there are anyone who like to take part in this session?
Before
I
to
just
that of
want to
just few fundamental remark which is required to be added upon for the simplification of the article itself. As we are familiar that part 3 of Indian Constitution deal with the fundamental right? And in that fundamental right, there are different types of fundamental. Okay, there are right to equality, okay, right to liberty, right against exploitation, okay, right for the religious practice and all stuff. If your right to education, right to religious practices is coming in contradiction with the Article 14, 19, and 21, which stand for equality, liberty, okay, many more stuff. Then, as the article itself has given its proclamation that if it is coming any specific religious practices coming in the contradiction with the constitutional morality, that would be made struck down or minimize the very standard of that. That's exactly the crux of the article. As how society have constitutional law, right?
So your voice is
We have
breaking.
seen either you talk
Hello,
about the
Swayam.
hello. Let me
Now it is clear. Yes, continue, please.
at hello. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Was I not audible from the very start or in the
No,
middle?
you're audible, but your voice is cracking between. But now it's clear.
Okay. So what I was saying is that the very ground of the article itself is coming with a 2 point of contradiction. One is something called the constitutional morality, and something what is the part of the practices which is present in the society. And out of both the two, which one would be the subject of priority? That will be the constitutional morality. What exactly? Okay, as the constitution has come into existence in 1950. That is where the constitutional journey start, because before to that of we have seen that how exactly the civil rights or a civil code were taking or having the responsibility and all this stuff. Allow me to move one step forward in order to touch one of the case which is called the Sabarimala case, which is somehow related to the Kerala, right? It's all about I come with the point of disagreement what the court has spoken and given judgment itself, where they said that it should be having the liberty in the hand of everyone to enter in the court, no matter from which uh, sex they belong from. The one of the fundamental ground of that statement was that the women's coming from 10 to 40 year age were not exactly allowed during time period of the menstruation period, and except that they are allowed. So that is the part of the real entity of that specific or real custom of that specific temple. There are remaining 3 to 4 temple also present in the country where exactly mans are not allowed. So the concern is that why exactly such things are inside there. If that is coming to the point of contradiction, what Article 14, 19, and 21 is saying, that should be made taken down. That was the constitutional remark. I'm accepting that. But what was really the element that is really required to even understand to the quote itself? Because different temples come with a different unique element. As we talk about the Sabarimala, that is the Tamsasambed temple, and the flow of the energy is very anti-clockwise. And that is something which might be negative with the repercussion to the very warmth of the women if they are going to enter the middle of the menstruation period. So that was the very ground based on which the practitioner have come into existence. Why exactly we have not allowed in just in a single temple, except that why there are some legs of the temple of the Lord Ayyappa, where every women's are allowed, no matter from which age group they come from, because it is believed so. Here come the fundamental rights of the deity, Lord Ayyappa, who has taken he was in the Brahmacharya time period and he was present in that temple. So what I'm saying is that sometimes the court itself, what interpretation that they are giving is limited with their level of understanding the customs and the practices, which is the very integral part of the temple itself, practices itself. Because the civilization is with the diversity. For simple example, in North India, you will have a 2 teeth of the Ganesha, but in South, you will have a single one. You can't say no, just add the another one. No, that's the part of the regional practice and the culture within itself. So I think there's some of the area of loopholes where the constitutional interpretation is also lacking, right, a lot. So that should be not been seen always from the lens of the Eurocentric perspective or the European perspective, because they follow not oral tradition as a parameter for doing the interpretation. They always follow a written tradition, and our current judicial system is also following the same one. So that is one of the fundamental flaw that I see, and why I come with the point of disagreement to some of the interpretation that they have given in the name of development and all stuff. Yeah, please.
Okay, so it was really appreciable. Thank you so much for participating and sharing this article.
I also want to share one thing in this article. I will not go into the deep. I will share this. What is 1927 the Madras Hindu Religion Government Act? So I want to share this. What is this 1927 Madras Hindu Religion Endowment Act? before this, there is make the Britishers make a rule for a certain time in 1908. Okay, and after that they make a rule for the govern the Hindu temples and the Hindu religions, all the properties, because we all know the temples are one of the it's also I think a very big business. If you see that how the trustees, we all know in the India's they have the temple, the trustees is very rich. But right now, after that in 1927, British government set a rule that government will intervene in this matter, and they will see the accounts and the other things of the temple. So how it's going on, because they are using like we all know that how we are, some are going like we say chadhawa, where is this money goes, like it's for the public people and for other things, what will happen. So that's why that at that time government intervened this, and also set a rules for the temple trustees and accounts and administration of the temple. So it's at that time it's very important for that, and the British government did good thing, I think so, because it will be goes to the government account and they will share for the all. So it is also a good thing, because it's a good business that if a temple will be open and people will come and they will buy something and they will and the mother trustees are earning. So that's why government intervened that time. And also this 1927 Madras Temple Endowment like changes in 1951. So right now we also know that for the Hindu religions only, government will intervene in the accounts and administration, but in the other religions government has not set the rule for the minorities and another region peoples. So that's why also in the recent news is we sometimes we know that we should oppose this act, that why is government only intervene in this Hindu religion, not in the other religions. So this is only from my side for 1927 Hindu Religion Endowment Act.
Yeah, thank you so much, Haribi. So it was really wonderful sharing. Yeah. But in between, I found one thing. You use peoples so many times. So people already plural. So be conscious about it. It is a people. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we have Shikha ma'am. Hello, Shikha ma'am. Are you there? Hello, Shikha ma'am. Am I audible? Shikha ma'am, please confirm me.
Yes, I am here. But this is my time. It's my time.
Yes.
Nobody is there. So many participants are there.
Yes. There are no one. You are last.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Now I am going to read the article number 3. May I go ahead, sir?
Yes, ma'am. What is your article number?
Article number 3.
Okay. All the best, ma'am.
Thank you. IT Act conspiracy charges. Sorry. IT Act conspiracy charges in case over ex-army chief book. Army chief book. Delhi police seek clarification from Penguin over circulation of the unpublished book on social media. They are investigating which version of the book Rahul was seen holding in the Lok Sabha. The special cell of Delhi Police has registered a case under the Information Technology Act and provision related to criminal conspiracy under Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita in connection with the alleged leak of content from the unpublished memo Four Stars of Destiny of former Army Chief General M.M. Naravani. The police on Wednesday issued notice to Penguin Random House, India, seeking clarifications over the circulation of the unpublished book on social media. A senior officer said an FIR was lodged on February 3, taking Suomoto cognizance of reports about the circulation of the book on social media. Investigators are probing how the content entered the public domain when formal publication clearance had not been granted. Tracing source. Preliminary inquiries have indicated that a PDF copy of the manuscript bearing the same title is available on multiple websites. Some online marketing platforms have displayed the book's cover, suggesting it is available for sale. The police are verifying the authenticity of this material and tracing their sources. Internal leak. Another senior officer confirmed that the publisher and General Naravani were aware of the manuscript's contents. Investigators are examining whether the material may have accused during the submission and editorial processes, giving the member of personnel involved in publishing workflows. The possibility of an internal leak has been ruled out, leading to the addition of criminal conspiracy charges. The police was also investigating which version of the book Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was seen holding in Lok Sabha and how he may have accessed it, if it all, if it all. The officer added that the probe could extend to multiple individuals, though no details have been disclosed regarding questioning so far due to the sensitive nature of this case, citing potential implications for national security and official secrets. Penguin Random House and associate platforms are likely to be examined as part of the ongoing probe. I have completed my reading part. Now I am going to summarize it. That it is about a book that is name is Four Stars of Destiny. Writer is former Army Chief General M.M. Naravane is retired already. This about the book, but the controversy, concern, and it is convicting claims about the publication status was M.M. Naravane book available in online. Then also it is a fake or right. It has to be investigated. Delhi police already special cell already issued a notice to Penguin Random House India regarding the alleged premature, maybe it is not published already, not granted all the Lok Sabha prize. It is called premature circulation and unauthorized weak or let's say the preprint copies of former Army Chief M.M. Naravane, Memer's Four Stars of Destiny. Penguin stated the book has not been officially published. And FIR also was registered digital and physical circulation and a notice issued to the publishers to explain leak. In this regard, the police investigations also going on, and in this regard, publisher, it is Penguin Random House, India, clarified that they hold exclusive rights. The book not yet published and any circulation version is unauthorized. And political controversy, of course, is there. The issue addressed by the opposition leader Rahul Gandhi discussed the memos, and he also entered the Lok Sabha with the book in his hand, and it is the first page also showing the name Four Stars of Destiny, and it is but it is not it is verified what's the content in it. It is real book or it is fake book, and it is all this situation has come to solve it, and police also investigated in this matter because it is very sensitive and because before discussion, before decision, mm, it should not be published. It is the content, the manuscript also. It is also the first copy, and it is only owned by the writer, and manuscript also not. In this regard, he also asked M.M. Ranavade, also asked who is the former chief. He also asked, but it is he also that it is not possible to do that before the publication, before decision. It is not done by him. He also denied it, and but it is the government also in this regard. It is very sensitive, and also to solve the matter and the leakage. The investigation focused on how the material was leaked before the official release. For this reason, they are investigation also going on, and that's all in this article. But it is that is digitalized India now, so everything scam may going on, but because technology is developing day by day and we are not alert about it, so it may happen. This is incident like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Shikha ma'am. Yeah, so it is really a fabulous reading and explanation. You read this article so calmly and politely. We always did like that. So it is really appreciable thing. Yeah. So anybody wants to add something? So please, you can continue.
Thank you, Tita. But I could not have time to read it. That's how to do
Okay.
it.
No, it's okay. It's completely fine. Thank you so much for participating. Okay, anybody wants to add something in this article?
So, if I give the crux of the article, it is simple and clear that this article is just explaining that how exactly the Delhi police has taken the so motto against the how exactly the alleged leak of unpublished memory Four Stars of Destiny has taken place, which is written by the former Army Chief General M.M. Narwane. Now the concern is simple and clear. There's one published uh, naming for the Penguin Random House of India. Okay, and we are watching the whole lot of the circulation of unpublished books, and that is something which is creating the whole lot of the chaos in the country. That how it can be practically possible that even a book which is not published is the part of the market and circulating here and there in the different website. So taking that decision, it is somehow expanding the rumors too. So what is happening? The Delhi, as I said, the Delhi police by itself has taken this so motto in order to move one step forward to take any decision on that. That's one stuff. If you are going to focus on the the that another element also which is linked with that how exactly examining of Rahul Gandhi's copy, right? So if you're going to see the investigations version of how exactly uh, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi was seeing holding in the Lok Sabha. Now the concern is arising how exactly he was having the authority to even get that, right? What was the mode through which? So they are just touching the different stuff that previously anything what was a normal, now the different agencies and different channels are coming forward. They are publishing these books. They are bringing on the table just for the sake of the fame and the popularity and and all the stuff. So these things, these are the some of the fundamental ground based on which this article is revolving around. That exactly I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much to give an extra points in this article. Yeah, so next is Ram. Ram, you added your name on the website? Hello.
Yeah, not audit in the website.
So you should add your name on the website.
Yeah, I will add now. Yeah, sure, I will add it.
Okay. So what is your article number?
Just a minute, I'm adding my name on the website.
There are Siddhi. Hello Siddhi. Good morning.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you ready now?
yes, I added my name in the website too.
Just a minute because Siddhi joined now. Hello Siddhi, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So after Siddhi, Ram, you can proceed. So Siddhi, please continue. What is your article number?
Ma'am, first you can go with Ram, then after
Okay,
that.
okay, okay. So Ram, now you can proceed. All the best. What is your article number?
Yeah, article number is 12.
1.
12,
Hello.
12. Is my
12.
voice is clear to you? Yes,
12.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Firstly, I want to confirm is my voice is audible to everyone?
Yes, yes. It is completely audible. All the best.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. I'm reading article number 12. SMEs unfamiliar with capital markets, lack of intermediaries, SEBI. Practical guidance, not clear internal governance systems to handle. SMEs IPOs not yet mature, making IPO process cumbersome, says Pandey. Small and medium enterprises face limited access to intermediary facilities such as a merchant bankers, and are unfamiliar with capital markets, which make it challenging for them to go public, said SEBI chairman Tushin Kanta Pandey. Greater SME participation in the market also diversifies financing channels, reduces risk concentration in the banking sector, and frees bank capacity for genuine working capital and priority lending. Yet SME capital market is under scale relative to Indian potential. Practical guidance is unclear, and internal governance systems to handle SME IPOs have not matured, making the process cumbersome, he said. Actually, the SEBI chairman, SEBI means Securities and Exchange Board of India. The SEBI chairman Tushin Kanta Pandya explaining in this article, whenever the small and medium enterprises they need to give their names in the stock market, they have to first registered as a IPO. So IPO in the sense initial public offering. With that only the small and medium scale enterprises will come into the stock market. They're actually facing some problems. He is saying when it comes to IPO, they're actually facing some problems in order to register in the stock market. Why? Because they're unfamiliar with capital markets. Actually, when it comes to IPO, they're offering their initial price of the stock is very high. That is why he's saying they're unfamiliar with capital markets. Yeah, this is all about this article, and they're unable to raise funds in the merchant bankers. This kind of issues happening because of this liquidity in the market is reducing. Yeah, this is all from my side. Thank you for giving me opportunity to read and summarizing this article.
Okay, thank you so much, Ram. So you read this article in a good way, but please add some expression while reading. Means about the pauses after a sentence. You just means you read this article in the same pace. So I want to give the suggestion. So maintain your expression while reading because others also listening carefully. So give some energy in your reading part. Otherwise, everything is good. So thank you so much for participating. Okay. So anybody want to add something? So you can continue.
So this article is simple and clear. No need to go deep into that. This is just talking about how exactly the chairman of SEBI, Kanta Pandeyji, has highlighted several challenges that is being faced by the small medium enterprise, okay, SMEs, and there are how it is creating problem for them to accessing the capital markets. So he has highlighted multiple points in that process where he talks about how exactly MSC, which stands for small and medium enterprises, face challenge in accessing the facilities like the merchant banker, so banker who can really deliver the wealth creation for their folk. He also touched about that how exactly unfamiliarity with the market is also one of the concern where the people who they are indulged in their SME are not that much familiar with the processes and how exactly really this capital market does it work. So that is one of the concern. And when you talk about the model of governance system that exactly we are following is it is also having some area of immaturity, right? So if you are going to see the internal governance system, which is somehow controlling or handling these institution called SME, is also having some problem with the IPO stuff, which stands for the initial public offering, right? And so there are a whole lot of immaturity which are also coming from this side. So Okay, there were some of the point that I was getting, except that I'm not getting anything. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Swayam. So next is Siddhi, are you ready? Hello,
Hello,
please
I'm
confirm me. Are you there?
ma'am. You can go with Adi after that.
Okay, okay, no worries. So Adi, you added your name, Adi?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what is your article number?
6. All right,
Six.
thank you,
Okay, all
Siddhi.
the best.
All right. Mm-hmm. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, it is completely audible. Please
Mm-hmm.
continue.
Okay. Calling Rafael a hero, Vice Chief of Air Staff seek more fighter planes. Saurabh Trivedi, New Delhi. Vice Chief of the Air Staff Air Marshal Nagesh Kapoor on Wednesday described the Rafale fighter jet as the hero of Operation Sindoor and said the Indian Air Force IAF was looking to induct more such multi-role fighter aircraft with Rafale planes among the contenders. Rafale was definitely the hero during Operation Sindoor. Among other heroes, the Indian Air Force is looking forward in inducting more MRFA, which is going to be Rafale or any other aircraft under deliberation. A decision has yet to be taken. We are looking for newer generation aircraft to add into our inventory, he said on reports regarding alleged strike on Pakistan's Kirana Hills during the operations. Air Marshal Kapoor said the IAF has targeted terror infrastructure and several military installations. Whether we did something there or whether the explosion was caused by something else, we don't know. These videos were presented by their people. We did nothing beyond striking terror and military installation. He said he was briefing journalists about Vayu Shakti and upcoming IAF exercise to be held at the Pokhran air-to-ground range near the India-Pakistan border in Rajasthan on February 2027. The biennial firepower demonstration will highlight the success of Operation Sindoor and the IAF capability to rapidly punish the enemy and dominate the operational environment. More than 120 air assets, including 77 fighter jets, will participate. The lineup includes Rafale, Sukhoi 30 MKL, Mirage 2000, MiG-29, Jaguar and Tejas aircraft. Helicopters will also take part, including Apache, Chinook, light combat helicopter, Prachand and advanced highlight helicopter, along with transport aircraft such as the C-130J, C-17 and C-295, which will make its debut at the event. Wing Commander Ajit B. Vashane said that 277 weapons would be deployed during the exercise, which will last 2 hours and 35 minutes. Around 12,000 kg of explosive will be denoted across 43 events involving 23 targets. Surface-to-air systems such as Akash and Spider short-range loitering munition and counter-unmanned aerial system will be showcased. The drill will feature integrated operations with the Army, including the development of M777 Howitzers, L-17 guns, and a special force. So I think this news is talking about the Indian Air Force and Rafale fighter jets. The Vice Chief of Air Staff said that Rafale was like a hero during Operation Sindoor. It helped the Air Force a lot in attacking enemy targets and military places. So the Air Force now want to buy more fighter planes like Rafale for future safety and strength. They are also planning a big air exercise called Vayu Shakti in Rajasthan. In this exercise, many fighter jet helicopters and transport aircraft will take part. Around 120 air machines will join the exercise, and they will show their power and fighting ability. The exercise will also show how the Air Force can quickly attack enemy and protect the country. So the news is saying that Rafale jets are very important for India's defense, and Air Force wants to become more strong in the future. So overall, Rafale fighter jets are very important and strong for India's Air Force. They help a lot in military operations, and that is why the Air Force wants more such planes. This will help India become more powerful and ready to protect the country in the future. So it help India Air Force attack on enemy targets, right? A big air exercise named Vayu Shakti will happen in Rajasthan. Around 120 aircraft like jets and helicopters will take part. Rafale fighter jet was called a hero in Operation Sindoor. So yeah, that's all from my side. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Abby. So it was really wonderful reading and explanation also. So I first time I listen you. So your reading part is really good. Yeah, sometimes you stuck on some words, but you correct yourself on the spot. So it was good. So thank you so much for participating once again. Yeah. So anybody wants to add something? So please go ahead.
Okay, so brother has done the good reading part. Thank you very much. And this article is just talking about the very capability potential of fighter jet called Rafale that we have taken or brought from okay brought from the country called France. Okay, if you're going to see its a generation, then you will get to know it's the 4.5 generation fighter jet, right? If you're going to talk about the speed which is having with itself, it's something on 1.8 Mach. It means nearly double the speed of the sound, and it has also some design element which is unique. So if you're going to see uh, it's designed with the canard delta wing of the configuration, which somehow provide the high lift and enhance the maneuverability. It can flow in a very smoothly manner compared to different one. And okay the one of the stuffs which is also being talked about, it is having the multi sensor data fusion, which somehow allow the pilot to not act as the tactical decision maker but also a sensor operator. So these are some of the elements that I'm getting when in the process of jotting down or touching the very statement or the word of this article. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, handsome sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Swam. Okay, so now it's time to wrap up this session. So thank you so much for joining here. You all guys are really fabulous, and you take part and share your helicopter reviews by the article. So it was really wonderful session. Yeah, so keep joining and keep shining regularly. Yeah, so have a nice day. Thank you so much.